Europe's help to embattled Ukraine has recently been acknowledged by the US president.
Well, look, Europe has been doing so much for Ukraine.
But the pleasantries ended there.
But it hasn't been enough. I would say that President Putin is not afraid of Europe. He's afraid of the United States of America, as led by me.
And the United States, led by Trump, is still to say its final word in the Russian-Ukrainian war. Kiev would definitely want to see some of the heavy-handed US diplomacy being used on Moscow, just as it happened in Venezuela.
If it's possible to deal with dictators this way, then the US knows what to do next.
But Washington's attention has now gone in a different direction.
There will be no more oil or money going to Cuba. A zero. I strongly suggest they make a deal before it's too late.
This comes as Trump also says that the idea of US Secretary of State Marco Rubio becoming the next president of Cuba sounds good to him. But Rubio is already busy with Greenland, where he is set to meet with representatives of this autonomous territory and Denmark next week to discuss its future. The US wants more control over the landmass and states these demands quite emphatically.
They really don't want to get enmeshed in, the committee-style governance of NATO or the European Union, where you have to sit down and get permissions to do anything on a piece of territory from 12 or 15 different leaders.
This rough way of handling diplomacy by Washington during Trump's second term causes concern over the future of numerous international bodies, most notably NATO. Only this week, Trump signed a memorandum ordering the United States to withdraw from 66 international organizations, one of the biggest such moves ever. A clear sign that Washington distances itself from international governance, a pattern already observed in Moscow and Beijing.
We definitely see a trend where large powers, the US, Russia, China, see themselves as effectively in a two-track international law system where there are rules that apply to the world but not to them.
However, according to some experts, the US has a long history of pulling away and then returning to international governance. The pendulum swings far away now, but it's bound to return when Washington finds itself in distress.
At some point, surely the United States will say, we need international law again. We need some of these mechanisms again.
The main question is, when will it happen? And what shape the world order will have taken by then? Paweł Trzaskowski for TVP World.